the tape, let's grind. Shut up. The tape, the tape. Let's grind. The tape. We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play. We ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach in the bench deep. Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting. Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunker down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't gonna play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't gonna play, we ain't gonna play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut up
tape.
and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape. Shut up and grind. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up.
Do anything you want. I ain't got no problem with it. I promise you that shit.
Listen to the words. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off. No, come find me. No, come find me. Listen to the words. Come find me. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off.
I ain't hard guy to find. I promise you that shit.
Listen to the words. Garbage, a joke, clown acts, pisses me off. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Thursday afternoon here live from Digital Drive. Last day, best day. Took us 4 days to figure out that this was the ideal camera. So the boys are looking right. Maybe a little too good, you know? Sometimes when the camera gets a little too clear, I'm like, I don't necessarily like my big fat white face.
I don't know. I feel good right now, you know?
You feel good?
I feel good. I look good.
The take's going to be good?
Oh, for sure.
Vibes are high on this table. I wouldn't say they're high at every table.
Yeah, no, not as much buzz going on Digital Drive today, but I'll tell you what. Been asking for some juice down in the media room this week, and it took till Thursday. But, I mean, the best start possible when we got Eli Drinkwitz this morning.
Absolutely. Eli Drinkwitz brought the juice. Opened up with an Epstein joke.
Oh, yeah, and
We love
opened up
that.
with saying, glad we got the right fight song.
Yep. Took a jab at Steve Sarkeesian and the SEC media staff for that matter. Man, that guy, I actually shook his hand afterwards and told him, like, thank you for, like, at least showing up and pretending to care and giving the juice. Like, it's a shame you had to go first on Thursday morning because even he made a joke about it. There's only like 14 people there. We were on time.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody else. But no, man, I just thanked him. Like, thank you for showing up and bringing the juice. A lot of these guys show up mailing in, man. They thank the media and they say thank you for being here, but they do not want to be here. They're football coaches. And I don't expect you to be Mr. Out in front. In fact, most great football coaches in the history that I've been doing this, the time that I've been doing this, they treat the media like they don't need them. Okay. Drink, not so much. Now, what I really appreciated about Drinkwitz this week, Jonathan, I know you weren't here last year as my man Mike G from the War Report walks by the stage or the table. I did appreciate, I don't know if you remember, Jonathan, last year, him saying something along the lines of, my first year at SEC Media Days, I made a few sound bites. This year, not going to give you much, going to kind of be boring and to the point. So let's get after it. Do you remember him saying something
I
along
do
those
remember him
lines?
saying this, yes.
Then this year, he was like, I've gotten to the point where I'm going to be me. I don't care. I don't care what you say or what you think about me. I think that's what he needs to do. I think he needs to be him. I think he needs that. That was the most relatable and likable, in my opinion, Eli Drinkwitz has been in 3 years as an SEC football coach.
And that's why I think that he is the perfect kickoff on a Thursday for SEC Media Days. Like, I think he belongs in that slot. I think that Eli should remain in that spot because he is best when he gets to listen to everybody else before him and throw some jabs here and there. Because that's what he was doing today. I mean, anything that was said by other coaches this week, he was taking jokes at. That's when he's best at. He needs to be the Thursday kickoff for the rest of the time.
Kind of like a good 9-hole hitter really churns that lineup back over.
It does.
You know what I mean? We need that 9-hole hitter Eli Drinkwitz.
Because coming into today, and you could tell again by the amount of people that showed up today in the media room, not necessarily a whole lot of people were really looking forward to talking to the slate of coaches today, but Eli just reeled us back in. He's like, you know what? Glad to be here, ready to be here. Happy to listen to these coaches talk some more today on one final day at SEC Media Days.
Jonathan, he made a little almost square us up a little bit. Oh, that's a tight looking picture right there. Look at that thing. He also made news today, as he might be walking by us here in a second. Also made news today because he talked about a 30-team playoff. Did you notice that? He lost me there for a little bit. I was like, whoa. 8 automatic qualifiers from the SEC, 8 from the Big Ten. He threw 3 in there. It was just 30 teams. Now, his reasoning behind it was relatively sound. How we doing? Reasoning behind it was relatively sound. I get it. Like in the NFL, he said 44% of their members' teams reach the playoffs. It's great for fan engagement. It's great for retention of audience throughout the year. But mentioned in college, like we're out here bickering and complaining about 12, 14, 16. You're changing the percentages from 10 to 12 to 14. Like we're not really including as many teams as we think we are.
Yeah, and to that point, again, kind of talking about how Drink was a bit of out of the norm for this week. He started that statement of talking about the playoff and talking about the conference schedule of going 8 or 9 by saying, Greg Sankey may not like me a whole lot after I say this, when we've been talking about every coach just come up to that podium and has said, we love Greg Sankey.
Like they got the keynote speaker talking points.
And Drink kind of went against the grain and gave his organic thoughts on all of it. So I'm not saying I'm here for a 30-team playoff. I'm not. I think that is way too many. I think you're getting way too large of a scale at that point. But I understand that college football has way more teams than the NFL does. But I think if you get to that 30 point, I mean, again, we talk about all the time of how many true national title contenders do we get each and every season in the college football. 30 is way too many.
I love this listener's comment right here. It seems like he's been listening to the show for a long time. I think this says Christian Kirby. Drink's speech was so good out here saying he won the week after suggesting expanding the playoffs to 30 teams.
Oh, thank you. Remember, next time if you want us to show your comment, you do have to pay $10. So just note that next time.
Yeah, know that next time, and just general advice for folks. Show up for work.
Yeah.
You know, show up for work.
Can't take
be
a
a
week
hard
off.
worker. Be like my man Brandon Adams. You know, my man Brandon Adams, hard work.
Here on time.
No suit today. Casual Thursday. No suit today. Casual Thursday. I mean, a sports writer only needs so many suits.
I only have
like
one.
3's too many.
So you're 4X what honestly. I have right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, the 3 suits, plenty. Day 4, nobody's here anyways to see me mail it in. So I'm just going to mail it in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mail it in. Not mailing in the takes, though. Make sure you're in that thumbs up button firing off in the chat. We love the chat. Big dubs in the chat. Who's his quarterback down in Missouri? Who's it going to be?
It's either Horn or I guess it's Bo Pribula.
Yeah, Sammy Horn. I'm a big Sammy Horn guy. Ceiling on Sam Horn, a lot higher than that of Bo Pribula.
Hey,
how about that handsome tight end that we thought was Bo Pribula, though?
If that was a quarterback, my goodness. I mean, you've won the conference over already.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was quite an entrance to today as well. But he talked about all 3 of his quarterbacks. But, you know, anytime you hear about a guy like Horn who is getting interest and was drafted into the MLB over the weekend, he is going to play college football, though it sounds like anytime you got a guy that can sling it on the diamond and can sling it on the football field, you can sign me up today right now. But I think it sounds like they still got a little bit of quarterback battle going on between Pribula, transfer from Penn State, who doesn't really have a whole lot of reps, and Horn, who's been in that organization for a couple of years.
Yeah, most attempts in a game for Pribula's 11.
Yeah.
And a mop-up duty for Penn State. I believe that was against Wisconsin. He came in with an injury to Drew Aller. Remember that? Because Drew Aller went off the sideline yelling at a Penn State fan that had made the trip. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
It was a Friday night game, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Were we in the car together watching that?
Probably.
Good times. Good times. I can't remember what I was going to talk about next. I think it had something to do with SEC football. I would imagine it did.
It's a pretty pressing topic this week.
Yeah, I am disappointed with the lack of news, though. There's been no news out of this at all.
No.
Back to the 30-team playoff. Don't love it. Don't hate it. Don't love it. I wouldn't like how elongated that playoff system would be. We'd have to start that sucker in October.
Yeah.
Or
you're pushing the season all the way into February. I mean, it's already a long season. I mean, it's already – and it feels like so many games. I mean, that would be a whole lot of games to put 30 teams up in a playoff and then match them up together and decide a national title. And I think, too, if you're getting into too many teams in the playoff, like 30 would be, in my opinion, I think you're kind of escaping that part of the playoff that is supposed to produce the true national champion of a season because – again, 30 teams in a season. There's so many other factors that come into that of the longevity of a season, potentially more injuries. And I think you're kind of, again, escaping that reality of having a true national champion at that point.
So Mark Stoops just got done talking. Not a lot of juice for Mark Stoops, but that's Mark Stoops.
Yeah.
I don't think Stoopsy's ever got a ton of juice. I thought it was interesting when he was asked, are you motivated? Was that verbatim?
Yeah, that was – yeah.
Are you motivated? I don't think he nailed that. That's a layup, in my opinion. Sounds like a goofy question. It came from a local reporter as well. Kentucky Sports Radio, I believe, is one who asked it. Said, Coach, are you motivated? Should have been a layup. Should have been 3 minutes about how juiced you are for this year. It was more of like, I didn't think he did a very good job of hitting that layup. Did you?
Yeah, no. It kind of went around the question a little bit. Didn't really hit it head on. And it is a question.
Even in the answer was like, I know you guys like to run. Look, Coach, unless you're 13-0, don't do the you guys. All coaches, don't do the you guys, the media. Y'all like to do this. Y'all just sit there, take your lumps, move on. Honestly, the layup like that should have just been like, I know I'm in year 13. I know we just came off the worst year since the first year here. Of course I'm motivated. Why wouldn't I be motivated? I just had the worst season I've had at Kentucky since all the 2000 when I first got here, or whenever it was, right? Like you should have just friggin' jumped on that one, and we didn't. We didn't. I don't think we capitalized.
Yeah, and I think that he got to that a little bit in a different question. I can't remember what the question was asked, but he kind of started talking about how he had one of the greatest runs in Kentucky program history, other than when Bear Bryant was there in the 50s. He said, which
is facts, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, he has had a great run at Kentucky, so I think I would have liked to hear him talk about how. I know what we can achieve at this program because I've done it. And last year we didn't make a bowl game. This year, again, like you mentioned, we had one of our worst seasons since I've been the head coach here. I want to get back to that because I know that we're capable of capturing that type of standard at Kentucky, capturing that type of consistency. And now that I've kind of reverbed that back into this other standard, I'm more motivated than ever to get us back into that realm of competition in the SEC.
All right, we got superlatives today.
Yeah, we do.
We got superlatives today. And yeah, I know Sammy, the pit boss, going to talk today. Mike Elko going to talk today. Gave A&M a little tribute today with the Jimbo intro. So we've talked enough about the Aggies already, just with the 90-second intro. All right, so what do we have on our superlatives? Run the list of superlatives we created whilst sitting in traffic yesterday.
All right, we got Mr. Mailing in to kick it off. We got Mr. Cooked.
Yeah, coach that's just absolutely cooked.
Mr. Drip, that's self-explanatory.
Coach that had that shit on.
Mr. Check Him In.
Yes. Mr. Check Him In. That's the person or coach, player or coach, that after speaking this week, we're like, check that dude into the mental hospital. Check him in.
We have Mr. Monotone, again, or also known as Mr. No Juice Guy.
Yep.
Mr.
No
Coach Speak. Mr. Way Too Happy to Be Here. Mr. Marshawn Lynch. In other words, I'm here so I don't get fined.
It's contractually obligated. That's why I'm here, Mr. Marshawn Lynch.
And then we have Mr. Winner, the winner of the week of SEC Media Days, excluding Sam Pittman and Mike Elko, who very well could captivate us and ultimately win the week. But
Got Elko getting a dub.
you got a tough act to follow with Eli this morning. I'll just go ahead and say that.
Yeah, spoiler alert. He's our big winner this
For sure.
week.
I
I
think
mean, we talked about it. I mean, I'm not going to say it because every time I say it, it ends up going poorly for the guy. But I would for that guy. You know what I mean? I would for that guy. I'd go do it.
You might need to fill in that sentence, actually.
You're right.
We might need some fill.
My bad.
But yeah,
I just don't want to curse the guy.
No.
I'd rather hey-yo it.
That's a whole lot of respect
You
coming
know?
from you. But yeah,
I'd rather say something sus than put a total curse on your program.
yeah, and I think that sure, the bar was maybe set a little low as to what met the standards for who's going to be the winner of this week. It was
Who's
going to
care
low.
this week?
Eli, though, I mean, just again, right from the rip, right from the get-go, he was getting people to laugh. He was getting people bought into what he was talking about. And like you said, he is super relatable. It's easy to like Eli as a head coach in this conference. And again, as you continue to add more and more coaches into this, it's unfortunate that we only get a select few of them that show up to this event. And I like to actually care about this. But Eli, man, I mean, he took over the event, and again, on the last day, nonetheless.
Absolutely. Who's up next? What's our first superlative of the
We'll
day?
go back to the top.
Yeah.
Mr. Mail It In. Who mailed it in?
Ooh. I mean, I can't say Hugh because everybody just thinks I'm a Hugh hater. So go ahead.
Hugh Freeze mailed it in only because his opening statement was like 2 minutes long. Like just to kind of refresh you guys on what he talked about. Gave the typical thank you to the program. Thank you guys for being here. All that good stuff. Thank you to Greg Sankey. And then he talked about the 3 players, how much he loved them. And we'll open it up to questions. Didn't come prepared, it seemed like. I'm not saying that Hugh Freeze needed to go on this 15-minute dialogue about this upcoming season, what he wants to achieve or anything like that, but 2 minutes, man.
Yeah, 2 minutes was a little bit short. I'm just remembering the Kirby that was on Media Row and Digital Drive, whatever you want to call it. That was at Media Days in Nashville a couple years ago. And I know it was very different because he jumped into one of my interviews. Remember when he's very playful in the Ben Jones interview? I saw him on Digital Drive because I was tailing him, trying to get him onto the show, unsuccessfully, obviously. That man did not want to be here.
Shocker.
That man did not want to be here. I'm not going to name the radio station, but the very last interview he did on Digital Drive, he's literally sitting the meme of the Popeyes worker after the chicken sandwich came out.
Yeah.
Kirby is literally like this with his head down and headphones on, just being like, yeah, really excited about this year's team. Really glad to be here this week. Can't wait to get the pads on. Appreciate you guys for having me. Literally let one out.
And then, all off seasons, to be honest, for Kirby Smart to kind of feel exhausted of dealing with the media. This isn't one of those. Last year, we know what the deal was. We know what the pressing topic was. It was the off the field issues and everything that was going on there. Other years, it was the continuation of winning national titles, building a dynasty. Are you going to be as great as Nick Saban? All that other stuff. And maybe it is to talk about, he's probably getting asked a lot of questions, I know, about the playoff format.
No. He got asked the same question all week over and over again. Hey, coach, sell me on Gunnar Stockton because I don't believe in him. Over and over again. Every table I went to, some version of that. Or defend why you keep hiring your offensive coordinator. Those were the 2 questions he got over and over again. And look, I would do it the same way. Well, I probably wouldn't. But media guys have the same way of answering or asking that question. Hey, coach, everybody craps on your coordinator. I certainly don't. I don't believe that. But, what do you think? Why do you keep hiring the guy? And it's just dude, I've won 2 national, it's the same thing over and over again. I really got to keep talking about this. But, yeah, you do.
Unfortunately.
But how many times was he asked about winning an SEC championship last year, do you think? I know he wasn't asked in any of the rooms that I was in. Hey, coach, how were you proud of the fact that you weren't a perfect team last year and still managed to win the conference?
Mm-hmm.
And no shot to any of the people that were here because his own fan base doesn't connote that. His own fan base doesn't acknowledge the fact that last year was a shortcoming. I hear fans talk about worst year since type of stuff around last year. They won a conference title.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like that Kirby got a whole lot of opportunities this week to brag about his team and brag about the guys that he has on the roster this year because all of the attention is directed elsewhere of either having to defend the hires that he's made or the retentions that he's made or the quarterback that he's probably going to pick or anything like that. It wasn't a whole lot of opportunity of man, we're glad, super happy with where Georgia football is at right now.
All right, who's up next? What's our next one?
Mr. Check Him In.
Oh, yeah. check him into a mental hospital, or at least get him checked in on Diego Pavia.
That's it.
Yeah, it's just Diego Pavia. I'm all here for confidence. I'm all here for self-love and admiration. But, like, bro, y'all still lost to Georgia State last year, you know? And I know you beat Bama. But there were moments of Vandyisms last year in the year that was supposed to be the greatest year of Vandy football history. Guys, this is a program that won 9 games a couple years ago. Like, they have these every once in a while. Put this together. So, like, I get it. I get being confident. But when you come here and say some of the stuff that he said, it's like talking about competing for national titles. Interesting.
And, like,
you know, just interesting.
For a program that has unfortunately suffered at the bottom barrel of the SEC for so long, you would think that after a year of success for them and kind of entering a season in which people think they are going to kind of continue that success, you wouldn't think you'd want to put yourself back out there in vulnerability of being the laughing stock of the SEC again, because now you're kind of putting yourself in a position to where even if Vanderbilt does win 8 games this year, does win 9 games this year, all the attention is going to be pushed back onto, well, Diego Pavia said you guys were going to be national title contenders playing in a college football playoff, to where now you've set this bar of expectation of what you think this program is supposed to be this year, to where you're kind of overselling yourself to where people can look back at you and say, well, they didn't really achieve what they ultimately wanted to.
So we talked about yesterday how it's very clear the media and the Auburn fan base still 10 toes down with Hugh, like still very much supporting him. You know who over the last 24 hours, really last year, you know who I've noticed hates their head coach, like never talks positively about them? Florida fans.
Oh, yeah.
Florida fans never, ever talk positive about Billy Napier. I saw yesterday, Billy, and look, say what you want, probably shouldn't have done the spot the ball tweet, but I see the spot the ball tweet, and the first viral response I see to it is what is obviously a Florida fan, not a troll that had faked their account, an obvious Florida fan saying, Coach, we did. You're 13-19 or whatever it was, whatever his record is. It's like, geez, well, these guys do not like him.
See another one today about how Napier said yesterday that he thinks a lot of people are sleeping on Trey Wilson or Eugene Wilson, the wide receiver down there.
Tweet said, bro, you are too.
Yeah, it is that, bro, you're the one sleeping on.
Bro,
how
you're
about you go use him on the
him.
field, dude? So, like, yeah, he does get a lot of kickback from his fan base.
A lot of hate. And look, like, he got it. I'm not going to air the beat out, but, like, us beat reporters speak to one another when we go see other teams, when we go to other games. Hey, what y'all think about this guy? I study him, you know, like I know they're not, but like I study him. I don't hate it. I think the offense was a little too play action, deep game passing oriented last year, but like I didn't hate some of the things that I'd seen from Florida, like immediately. First year down there, this guy's this, this guy's that. He's not going to survive. It's just like immediately gave up on any type of positivity around the program.
Yeah,
absolutely. And he's Mr. Monotone, by the way.
Oh, you think he's Mr. Monotone?
Facts. It's just the way he is in front of cameras.
I put up Mark Stoops.
Yeah, that too. Same thing. Stoops would be like that. But Josh Heupel, another one of these.
He is.
Hype don't want to be here. Hype never wants to be here.
Well, we can go ahead and transition to that one then. He is Mr. Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Josh Heupel
is Mr. I'm here, so I do not get fined.
Now, he was a little playful with some of the media this year. Like there was a beat reporter that asked about his lack of success against Georgia, and he's like, well, thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, we haven't been favored on the scoreboard against Georgia during my time here, but we're looking to change it. So he did crack some jokes here and there, and I mean, he was a little more interactive, but yeah, he just shows up.
You want to play a Film Guy Network favorite game of all time?
Yeah.
Guess that massive machine. Here we go. I'm watching Film Guy Network and driving a 120,000-pound, multi-million-dollar piece of equipment. What could that piece of equipment be? First thing that comes to mind, crane?
Yeah.
But you don't drive a crane. You operate a crane.
Oh, yeah, driving.
Maybe one of those big dump trucks that is on like a job site that clears dirt.
Yeah.
That's got to be 120,000 pounds, right?
I mean, dude.
But multi-millions where I'm getting – is he driving a tank? Are you driving a tank right now?
Operating a tank, that's crazy.
Any more guesses before we move on this? What is Lucas Mays driving right now?
I mean, shoot, at this point, with how things are, he could just be driving a Ford F-150. That's just jacked out of someone's pocket, man.
Squatted, bro?
Those things get expensive quickly nowadays.
It's a good answer from Josh Armstrong right here. We ruled out crane because we're not driving cranes. A Cat D10N, a Cat 77C, or Cat 637. Big cat guy.
Oh, did he answer a question?
Lucas.
Oil field rig.
Ooh, an oil field rig.
Where's your money at? Where's
Yeah,
that
for
oil
real.
money
Where
for
that bread
Georgia?
at,
Okay,
dog?
that's where everybody's been
Where that
asking.
bread in
You
the
got
chat?
access to it. Come on now.
Well, no, he's a laborer. You know,
You're right.
He out here, he grunt.
Work your way up that totem pole, Lucas.
Yeah, because that exists nowadays. Working your way up the corporate ladder, that exists. No,
I don't know. I'm not in corporate.
it doesn't. Just to let you know, CEOs kind of stay that way until they croak or get shot in the street. There we go. What's up next?
We have Mr. Coach Speak. This feels like another kind of not layup, but just kind of consensus answer.
Oh, Steve Sarkeesian.
Yeah.
Steve Sarkeesian is Mr. Coach Speak. It's just 25 minutes of coachisms.
Now, you weren't down there for Sark, right? It was just me down there. I think you were doing your radio hits and stuff
We got to go hit the re-record button. Hold on. This is why we don't use this camera. Did it disappear?
Now there's a little message on the screen. There we go.
Good.
I think we're good now.
We're good.
I think we're back. Chat, you guys can let us know. Everything seems to be operating fine on our end. But again, you guys just communicate with us. We'll try and figure some things out. We got a 2-man squad here. So we're trying to do things on the fly. But anyways, you weren't down there for Sark, were you, for his speech?
No,
Yeah,
I watched
think you were
some
busy
of
up
it.
here.
Yeah,
But
I was doing interviews.
So while Hugh Freeze did just a little 2-minute opener on his football program, Sarkeesian elected to do the opposite and went position by position and told you just about every single player that plays that position.
We're out of focus, but it'll figure it out eventually.
But yeah, he
He
went
went position by position.
his entire roster, every single position. He would name 4 or 5 guys, tell you a little bit about every single player. Of course, the only position that he really didn't do that at is Arch Manning. He would later on answer a question about Arch, of course. But yeah, I mean, it was a long diatribe about. Let me tell you about the Texas Longhorns roster, what we got going on this year, and a little profile on every single person as well. We just trying everything we can right now.
I mean, we're trying to white balance this thing. All right. Yeah, it was very. I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but I heard him all fine. I also heard every all this conversation about how he doesn't buy players. I feel like nobody bought that.
Oh yeah, no, well, especially with some videos that I guess resurface on the internet of some of the things that they've got going on in the program, when recruits walk onto campus with maybe some nice cars sitting out front.
That's just a dealer. That's just a local booster that likes to give out free Lambos on leases to college football players.
You know, and look,
That's not anything to look at. That's just,
and look,
leased vehicles that they don't pay for, I would imagine.
timing is everything too with what you say.
Yeah.
And so for Sarkeesian to kind of follow in the footsteps of what Kirby Smart said about how they do recruiting and whatnot, and how money is one of the last things that they talk about when a kid comes through their program, because they want guys that love football, love the Longhorns, love Texas, all that good stuff. Well, then in that same day, you go on to land 5-star linebacker Tyler Atkinson, and then also flip James Johnson or J.J. Johnson, the defensive lineman from Georgia. James Johnson, the defensive lineman from Georgia. Like, that all happened in the same day. And Texas was kind of late to the party in Tyler Atkinson, and then they weren't really in the mix for James Johnson either, and then they ultimately end up flipping him. So only assumptions can be made there. But, again, timing is everything when you say things. And that was just unfortunate timing for him, I would say.
I mean, what's he supposed to do? Stand up there and be like, we got the bread, fam.
I mean, y'all know the deal down in Texas. Y'all know what we're working with.
Football matters. Oh, look, we're back in nice, clear focus.
Let's go.
Big dubs in the chat. Big dubs in the chat. You know what I'm excited for?
What?
I'm excited to be back in that studio my mom built me in my basement.
You know, there's an art to just walking into a studio, turning some things on, and we're ready to rock.
Ready to rock. Know it's going to sound perfect. Know it's going to sound great. I do need to invest in our remote location, like especially if we're not going to be with one of these Yahoo companies.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not going to be with one of these big companies, we better start spending some more money on this road show.
Yeah.
Because the Elite 11 product was good, but it took 9 hours to upload. This is good, but I don't think it sounds great. So there's a lot of room to grow here on this network.
Folks can hear the text, though. They know what's going on. They can at least get the message.
I put in the chat yesterday, what are you most excited for as football season approaches? And do you know what the number one response was?
What's that?
5 shows a week. For us to work more. That was the response, which I'm appreciative of.
Yeah, he's excited to put us to more work.
To more work.
I think I just heard Christian groan all the way from his crib back in Athens as we said that. So that's
Superlatives continuing.
Yeah, we got one last one. Mr. Way Too Happy to Be Here. This kind of sounds like a shot, but honestly, it turned into a compliment.
Yeah.
I would say.
The only one happy to be here, Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah, again, just showing all kinds of love to Drink, man.
Honest to God, I think we might have been able to get him on. I was disappeared. I think we did our live show, but good dude.
Yeah.
Also, should be known, was made aware this morning that our Hugh Freeze tweets might have ended up in some SEC coaches' threats.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're checking out the takes, huh?
Yeah.
Or maybe laughing at takes, or
laughing with.
Laughing with.
I think it was a laughing with
Okay.
situation there. Actually confirmed laughing with situation there.
Love that. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty fun. Which made me think, who's in those group chats and who's not? Because obviously it connoted that a certain coach was not. But we don't have to talk about it too much. What else we got today?
We did want to talk about who won talking season. This isn't.
This is about SEC Media Days in general. This is everyone, every football program in college football. Who won the talking season? Because after this week, man, we're going to keep talking without ball, but we're going to watch a lot of ball on our network. We're going to continue to study very highly touted football players, very talented football players, and concepts and teams. We're going to be talking ball. The talking season pretty much concludes once Media Days concludes. So who won talking season?
I think I have 3 nominees.
Give them to me.
First one, I have USC. The only thing is USC really wasn't the ones doing the talking, as we were talking pre-show. It was more so people were talking about them. But again, I mean that is what talking season it's concise stuff. So I think USC kind of won because there's a whole lot of discussion about, is Lincoln Riley going to hold on to this class? Is he going to keep all these recruits? And while there were a couple of decommitments for the most part, Lincoln Riley has gotten in the front of recruiting. He had a class locked down all the way back in May. Yeah. And for the most part, he has maintained most of those recruits so far. We'll see how the rest of the year goes on. But Lincoln Riley certainly stepped it up in recruiting.
I think Xavier Griffin, the only one he's lost.
Really notable one.
Yeah. I mean, as a matter of time, that's what it looked like to me. Recruiting those guys out of the Southeast is really, really hard to keep, especially when they're 5-star edge rushers. They play a premium position out here, committed early to USC. You're going to hold on tight. Texas Tech did everything in their possible power to win the offseason. From buying as many players as they possibly could, to buying as many stories as they possibly could, to getting as many people to interview their billionaire as they possibly could, to sending their billionaire to media days. Texas Tech did everything they humanly possibly could to try to win the offseason.
Oh, yeah, big time. My second nominee for this, and this one is kind of, they won talking season that consisted of everything over the last 4 years, Clemson. I think that Clemson won talking season because, again, we're talking about them being the front runner in the SEC, going to be highly competitive. Some are even going as far to say that they're a national title contender. I don't know if I'd go as far as that, but I do think that they are a playoff team. And Dabo Swinney is back in the front of things. And without paying players like everybody else, without hitting the transfer portal like everybody else, doing all the things that he said, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to remain the head coach that I want to be and run this program the way I want to, despite all the changes around me. And it looks like you've mentioned multiple times, he's going to come out looking good on this.
Yeah. Who lost? I know I didn't prepare you for this. Who lost the offseason?
Lost the offseason.
Who just had terrible story after terrible story, loss after loss after loss?
I would say kind of UNC. I mean,
that's a great shout.
You peaked really high when you hired Bill Belichick. I mean, you get a lot of people excited, more people than ever paying attention to UNC football going into this year. And then it just seemed like every passing week there was more and more stories that came out of that program. And I was like, ooh, I don't know about that one anymore. I think I might step away.
Layup. Hugh Freeze in Auburn.
Yeah.
I think that's just going to be my thing. I'm just going to be the anti-Hugh guy.
You're just now the bona fide.
Make it personal.
Do we now have a Hugh Freeze anti-deep state?
No, I'm not rooting for downfall. In fact, everybody I talk to says he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I need a little bit more transparency.
Sure.
That's all.
Transparency and consistency.
And I got to thinking about all the different, come on, bros. Like all the stuff at the microphone post game last year, I talked about it. Made me kind of gross, or it made me feel kind of gross. All the stuff with the August 1st, misleading your entire fan base at that point, saying basically everybody else is lying. That's why we can't recruit right now. That's crazy to me. The could have and should have yesterday was a little bit wild. Like time after time after time after time, just lack of transparency. And then the stuff with the beat reporters yesterday was goofy.
I do have one more nominee for a winner of the offseason. I would say Tennessee. This is kind of going back again to what happened with Nico and the transfer portal situation there and kind of some negotiation process that ultimately didn't happen, leading him to go to UCLA. But, I mean, good on Josh Heupel, good on Tennessee for kind of trying to change the direction of where things are heading and saying college football programs and head coaches and what their values of their programs can still hold strong in this type of era of college football, even if we do have a former five-star quarterback that we feel like we need this year, a returning starter that we need this year in order to continue the direction of us going to another playoff and back-to-back years. We're not going to sacrifice our morals in order to be successful, and they could ultimately still have a successful season under Joey Aguilar, but I think that was a big win for college football in general for Tennessee and Josh Heupel for what they did this offseason.
Yeah, big win. Like, we talk about all the time. We're all for player mobility. We're all for players having power, all for players making money. When you start using hostile negotiation tactics at the rate that guy was, I'm glad somebody finally told him to kick rocks. I do not like this era of, I played good today. I get a raise today. Buddy, I've been working hard, doing great for a long time. Sometimes you don't get those promotions. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't get it immediately. And not all of us get to just be like, well, I'm not showing up tomorrow if you don't give me more money, or I'm not going to play next year, or I'm going somewhere else if you don't give me more money.
Yeah.
We all don't get to do that everywhere we go. You don't get to do that at the next level. You know, you outperform your contract year one in a 5-year deal. Tough, absolutely tough. You know,
I do want to talk about one of the conversations that you and I got to have this morning with one of our SI Arkansas beat reporters, because, you know, on this channel all the time, we ask the question of, what is the expectation at such and such?
The realistic expectation.
We really aren't tapped into that program. We haven't really tapped into that fan base just yet. They haven't flooded in our comments just yet, so we really don't have an idea of it. So we finally got to ask, what is the realistic expectation every single year for Arkansas? What are they hoping to achieve every single season? And it was 7-5 and 8-4. Kind of what we have said the baseline should be at a program like Arkansas. And I think it's so always good to get insight like that, because you want to know how should we be approaching a football team going into every single season. 8-4, 7-5 for Sam Pittman and the Hawks.
So who's our 7-win, 8-win range football programs in the SEC? I would go Arkansas. I would go Kentucky, probably 6 wins, 7 wins.
Yeah, more so in that range.
Outside perspective, that's the way I feel about them. Fans probably demand 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Who else is in this? Chat, help us out. Who do you think in this conference is like a 7 to 8 win
South
football
Carolina
program? See, I think South Carolina is an 8 win every once in a while. Give me a 10 win season.
Yeah.
I think 8-4 is the full floor there. If you turn in 3 years of 7-5 in a row at South Carolina, I think you're under quote unquote pressure.
Well, then I would kind of go on to say that there aren't many of these in the SEC.
Yeah. Most of them are 10 win, like 8 to 10 win demands.
Yeah. I mean,
Oklahoma, South Carolina, A&M, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, you can't.
Auburn.
You can't throw.
Well, we're really testing the ground here with Auburn lately, because we turned in 5-7 and 7-5, and we're still standing for the guys. So.
The baseline can't be 8-4 for Vanderbilt. I mean,
that's too high.
That's too high for them. And then even for Missouri, like, I think they're kind of low shooting where they should be, because I mean, they came into this conference in the first years were playing for conference titles, and then now under Eli Drinkwitz, they've been a competitive football program.
They fired Barry Odom after 7-5.
Yeah,
didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I think they fired Barry Odom after 7-5. So like, you can't say they're an 8-win program. That's our expectations when they're firing coaches after 7-5. Look that up. It might have gotten real bad there at the end, though. It might have gotten real bad.
Statistics. Oh, here we
go. Head coaching record.
He was 6-6.
See, After no worse, that's the worst. It was a 4-8 year one.
He went 7-6, 8-5, 6-6,
and fired him after 6-6. Like
that can't be the baseline.
Their program expectations is 8-4.
Yeah. So
if that's the case,
Arkansas might be the only one really, because I think
in that hovering range of 6 or 7.
Because I think Mississippi State is like kind of in that Kentucky range, like that, they're just
in
kind of
that Vandy range.
Yeah.
Now,
so I think Arkansas is really the only program as of right now that is sitting at like, hey, you go 8-4 this year.
So we basically got 10 wins that are 10 programs that demand playoff expectations once every 3 years, or you're cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the deepest conference in the sport, though.
No.
Yeah. No.
Definitely need more conference games to judge them because they don't play anybody. They don't play really good teams.
Probably should go to 9 conference games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any expectations for the rest of the day?
No. Hey, chat. Are we going to hang around? What do you think?
I don't know.
It's only 12:40.
I will say I was
6
feeling a
o'clock's
little low
long
on
way over
energy earlier today.
Yeah, but you'll be juiced sitting there in pre-show planning, getting a microphone put on your ear.
If it happened, yeah. I mean, it's certainly the juice level.
I mean, we can force it to happen.
Force it to happen?
Yeah, I can make it. Sure. I've been told that he's a big fan. Yeah.
Just all of us?
Well, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. You know, well, only 2 of us are here, so definitely not a fan of 3 of us. Look, honest to God, chat. It's a good bit. Dude works really, really hard. Chris has probably wrote more articles than anybody here.
That's what I was about to say.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Dude works really, really hard. I know it's a good bit. It's funny. It's a good recurring theme. Christian Kirby is one of the hardest workers in the media.
He wanted to be here more than anybody.
You do not run in my circles unless you're a grinder. I'm telling you that right now. You definitely don't run in the circles as long as these 2 guys have for as long as they have. All right. And yeah, I think I've said enough about it.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate you guys being here. Make sure you get your thumbs up button on the way out. Got a whole slate of regularly scheduled programming next week. We're going to continue the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday schedule until that first week of August. Okay. First week of August, we're going to come out, do 4 days a week. 4 days a week. All right. With film studies. So what we're going to do on Wednesday, every single Wednesday until that point, we're going to be releasing film studies. I'm going to be releasing film studies as we continue leading up to this year's college football season. We looked up some numbers the other day. We're like the 3rd largest college football YouTube channel.
Yeah, I mean, based on the research that we did, climbing the ranks.
Yeah, we're getting up there. Now, I don't know if we'll ever run number 1 down. That's okay, though. One channel be out here wilding with the fake subs. We ain't got to call numbers, but hey, the ratio of subscribers to live viewers should be relative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shouldn't have triple digits in terms of the subs and have like 26 people watching. That just don't make no sense. So I only say that to say appreciate the growth, honestly. Like all the support on this network has been tremendous. I can't wait for what it looks like this fall again. I expect to hit 50 before the season starts. I hope to be at 100K by the end of the year. And we're only going to get that way if you guys continue to do what you're doing, which is supporting us in the chat, firing off. But more importantly, like, go grab a friend. Go grab a friend and tell them, like, you like football? Yeah. You should be checking out these dudes. These dudes are covering college football at a totally different angle and a totally different way with a lot more juice. Appreciate you guys being here. I love you. We'll see you later.